Hi, I'm Tim from Weald City Surveyors, and you're joining me today on a level 3 survey of a small property, a semi-detached property in Tunbridge Wells. And as you can see here, we're starting off by having a look at the train set. Now, train sets are definitely slightly more relevant than you might expect. We'll have a quick look here. If I back off, you can see that we're going to be dealing with the notorious railway modeler defect. So here we have a roof. Now this roof is what we call a strut and purlin carpenter cut roof. Here's the strut, here's the horizontal purlin, rafter timbers up above, web timbers running from the base of the roof structure, what we call the cord that runs across, right the way back up to the rafters. And we've got a little ridge detail up above there as well. Squeaky ball beneath my feet. So what our railway modeller has done is what so many will do, is they've decided to put the railway set up in the loft space, use the space, and to do so they have had someone in to cut some of the timbers away to create some space to walk around. Now obviously those timbers are there for a purpose, and the timber that I'm looking at there is our web timber, would have extended right the way up, as can be seen here. And what that would basically do is to hold the lowest member of what we have there in our roof truss, the cord which comes across and forms the ceiling joist, up. Okay, so that would be acting in tension, so it's holding the ceiling below up, and also preventing any spread at the far extent of the roof there over at the eaves. Now, the other thing that timber would have done, that web timber would have done, is it would have kept this strut in compression. It would have pushed it up so that the joint with the purlin would be nice and tight, and that purlin would be well and truly supported. Over on the other side of the roof, we would have had the same detail. As a surveyor, we can quickly see the old fixing there. They've been quite careful. They've actually cut away the rusty nail at the back there, so nobody hurts themselves. And there again, some evidence of the old timbers. So what could potentially happen? Let's have a think about this. Without the web in place to keep that roof frame in tension, as I said, the roof could spread out, the purlin theoretically could drop down, these joints could open up, and we could get some cracking in the ceiling below. We could also find a bit of deflection, dishing of the roof surfaces front and back. It's particularly important at the front because if we have a quick look here, we've got a valley timber coming down, and that valley timber is supported by the rafters. We could also end up with some twisted rafters as the roof starts to move. Now, to be honest with you, at the moment, this isn't looking too bad. And, you know, I am aware that somebody's tried here. They put in a little bit of extra reinforcement. So we've got some vertical posts in there. And also, somebody has also tied in the rafters. So we've got rafter ties front to back at high level. Now those rafter ties will take away a little bit of the pressure off these, or load off these rafters, and a little bit of the load effectively off the purlins. But what they're not doing is they're not doing anything down at a lower level to keep the roof together, to prevent deflection, to prevent any cracking in the ceilings, which we're going to have a look at. So as a surveyor, what I quite often find is that we will get reports from other surveyors sent to us by their clients saying, are you able to help? What I've got here is the surveyors found this problem. The roof timbers have actually been cut through, and all they've done is to recommend a further inspection. And they've told me to go to a chartered surveyor or a structural engineer for further advice. And what we'll be doing at the end of this survey is actually sitting down with our measurements, having a think, and actually advising our client as to how they can resolve this issue without sending them on to a third party and without involving them in further fees. We can't always do that, but with something like this, it's possible. We can, so we'll try and help them there. Now, if you're looking for a building survey in Kent or East Sussex and you'd like our help, we'd love to hear from you. Be happy to have a look at any brochures or property details you have and advise you on the most appropriate level of survey. Do feel free to give us a call or just to email over information to us. And any other questions, perhaps have a chat with Guy, our office administrator. He's always there to just talk things through. Anyway, hope that's interesting, and as I said, if you require any help with any property defects or pre-purchase surveys, please feel free to get in contact. Thank you.